Hi, my name is Alex with Data Tech Tutorials, and today we're going to be talking all about stories. If you haven't checked out my video on epics, highly recommend you go check that video out, as this video is going to be the next logical step in the discussion of issue types with respect to Agile and how Jira does them. Also, please make sure you subscribe, make sure you drop a like, and if you have any questions about anything that I cover in this video, please make sure you let me know in the comment section below. Let's jump into Atlassian's Agile Coach and start talking about stories. All right, here we are back at atlassian.com/agile. We are specifically in the Agile Project Management and under User Stories. Let's talk about user stories, or as Jira calls them, stories in general. A story is the smallest unit of work in an Agile framework. It's an end goal, not a feature, expressed from the software user's perspective. It's also an informal, general explanation of a feature written from the perspective of the end user or customer. These are really what I like to tell teams, they're bite-sized work that your technical teams are going to be working on. So if you have your epics were really good from an organizational perspective. These stories are really what the team's going to be focusing on and actually building. These stories, when completed, are what's going to deliver value to your company, to your organization, or to your team. Now, as we're looking at this picture, ignore initiatives because we're going to be talking about that in the future. We have epics, and again, we've already talked about epics. I've already shown you how to create epics in Jira. Now we're going to talk about stories. And you'll notice that story/task is at the same level. And that brings up a really good point that I want to highlight. Stories and tasks in the world of Agile usually mean two different things. They usually mean that they're in a parent-child hierarchy. As in, you have stories, and then below those stories, you have tasks. The stories define the what needs to be built. The tasks define the how things need to be built. But you'll notice that Jira here is doing them as siblings, so they're not nested underneath. And this is really critical because a lot of teams that learned Agile and that are just Agile purists, or maybe they're learning Agile for the first time, but then they come into Jira, and Jira's a little bit different. And so I want to caution you, and I want to walk you through how to think about stories and tasks and even subtasks, because once you unlock that part, and once I explain this to you, the whole thing's just going to make a lot more sense to you. So let's talk about here. We got the story, we got the task. These are siblings. That means that a task in Jira cannot be nested underneath the story. It can be related, so you can make stories and tasks that are related to each other, but they can't and they don't do what the traditional Agile way of a story and a task. However, not all hope is lost, because Atlassian does do something a little bit differently. They give you a subtask. Now the subtask is going to be really what Agile calls a task. Why Atlassian called it this way, I have no idea. But the subtask is going to be that child. The subtask is going to give you the epic as the parent, then the story as a child of that epic, and then the subtask as a child of that story. So that is that trifecta, that is that three-step hierarchy that Agile is really good at promoting, and that's how you're going to want to think about things. So that begs the question, what's the difference between the story and the task? And when do I know which one I need to use? So this right here is completely subjective. It's just my opinions, but this is what I like to tell teams. So listen up. Here we go. So the story is what needs to be built, and the task is what needs to be built. They both define what. The subtask will help you define how. So coming back up to the story and the task, the main thing that I tell teams is the story is value added work. These are going to be items that are going to have some sort of a commit. There's going to be source code against it. There's going to be a PR against it. At the end of the day, when you finish your story, you're going to be able to package that up into a product and potentially sell it and make money for your company. The task, on the other hand, is, the way I like to explain it, more like supportive work. These are things that are necessary evils, things that you need to do in addition or in support of your story. So these are not going to necessarily explain how things be built, but maybe you got a story for creating some functionality in your code that goes and creates a database. Well, the task is going to be stand up that database, because the database might not exist already. So you can see how the functionality to add users to a database is a critical functionality. You're going to have source code written against it, but actually installing MySQL or standing up some sort of like a cloud-based version of a database, that's just going to be a task, because a developer or a member of your technical team is not necessarily going to go and write a PR or write some code to make that database happen, right? They're just going to go to like Amazon Web Services and create the database or something like that. So that's how I like to explain the differences between tasks and stories. And so now coming back to this, you can see how it's easier now to digest that, yeah, a story and a task siblings, but the subtask explains to you how. And so that's really it with respect to what the differences are. So let's just keep talking about like why would we create user stories and some tips and tricks for what makes a good story. So stories keep the focus on the user. A to-do list keeps the team focused on tasks that need to be checked off, but a collection of stories keeps the team focused on solving problems for real users. And this goes back to a story should provide some value. You don't want to just create stories when they really should be tasks because there's no value added. Stories enable collaboration. With the end goal defined, the team can work together to decide how best to serve the user and meet the goal. Now, the way I usually see this play out is if you create a story, it sometimes is discovered that that story is too broad or too big and multiple teams are having to like pass the baton. I typically don't like baton passing. I think that in a real world environment, that creates an opportunity for miscommunication. So I usually give the teams two pieces of advice. Either A, make more stories so you have the right story. You're splitting the story into a different team and their area of specialization. Or B, create some subtasks so that every individual that is going to be responsible for delivering something is going to have something that they can be held accountable for. Stories drive creative solutions. So stories can encourage a team to think critically and creatively about how to best solve for an end goal. This right here is pretty key because I don't know that Agile ever really talks about this, but one of the common things that I see is we have teams that have product owners that are kind of interfacing with the customer, the voice of the customer, and they go and influence the epics. And eventually from those epics, you're broken down to stories. One of the things that I see common is that outside factors or outside folks from the technical team are trying to influence and define how the story should be written. The story is really so that that technical team can figure out creatively how they're going to engineer the solution. And so the story, while it should get some influence from external factors, it's really up to the technical team to define how they're going to use their expertise, their degrees, whatever areas that they're experts in, to actually solve that one problem. The product owners and your product managers should really just be defining, here's a problem, but they shouldn't tell the engineering team how to architect a solution for that problem. Also, stories create momentum. With each passing story, the development team enjoys a small challenge and a small win, driving momentum. And this is kind of key. If a story is too big and it takes like the full 2 weeks of a sprint, that can be a little bit demoralizing. It can basically, it'll make teams feel like, well, I've been working my butt off for the past 2 weeks. I haven't really made any increments. As you're checking in midweek or even at your daily scrums, your team's just going to be like, well, I'm still working on it, and I'm still working on it, and I'm still working on it. That can really put a drag on stuff, and it's not a good thing. So the smaller the story, the more wins that developer or that team can start claiming, and the more heightened the morale becomes. And so that's pretty much it. I don't know that we need to go into any of the other details here, but I highly recommend you come to Atlassian.com/agile. Come and read this, especially if you're completely new to Agile or to Jira. This page here is going to help you and explain to you like what's the definition of done, what are personas, and things of that nature. So highly recommend you check out this website. But for this video, that's going to be pretty much it. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you drop a like, and if you have any questions, make sure you drop a comment, because in my next video, I'm going to teach you how to create the stories in Jira and how to link those stories or tasks or bugs back up to the epic. So again, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.